Welcome back to the Grow Your Nutrition Business podcast, powered by Healthy Steps Nutrition Mentoring. At Healthy Steps Nutrition, our mission is to empower 1 million people to take control of their health one step at a time so they can prevent and reverse chronic disease. I know that we cannot do it alone, which is why we partner with gym owners and coaches around the world so that they can make a greater impact in their local communities. My name is Nicole Aucoin, and I'm the founder of Healthy Steps Nutrition, CrossFit HSN, and HSN Mentoring. In this podcast, you are going to learn how to take one step at a time to build a successful nutrition coaching program. I am so excited about this week's podcast episode. It is with a New York Times bestselling author, Jon Acuff. He has become a dear friend over the years, and he has written some incredible books on goals and mindset. You've probably heard me talk about soundtracks before if you've listened to this podcast for very long. Well, I had him do an episode with me for our sister podcast, Nutrition Made Simple, and thought it would be fun when we got done recording with that one to take a break for a minute and do a little bonus episode for you guys, our gym owners and coaches, on goal setting with clients and asking him some questions on community. Jon has built an absolutely incredible community of people that's 100% virtual. And I think that we all, as coaches and gym owners, can learn a few things from him to make our communities even more sticky, even more impactful. I hope you enjoy this episode, and make sure you go over to Nutrition Made Simple, episode 92, and listen to the podcast where we talked all about setting goals. I guarantee you're going to get some tips there when you are helping your clients set some goals, and even for yourself. Enjoy this episode with Jon. Jon, welcome back to the Grow Your Nutrition Business podcast. We just recorded a podcast for Nutrition Made Simple, talking all about how to set goals, types of goals. Oh my gosh, so much good stuff. So people are going to have to go listen to that episode. But I wanted to do some bonus questions for our gym owners and coaches.
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. Okay, so when we think about goals, you talk about setting goals in different areas, personally, professionally, health goals, lots of different areas. You mentioned fun hobbies, which we love that. We need to encourage our clients to try new things and see what they like, see what they love. When we think about our clients and people that we're coaching, and they have all the different types of things, they want to do all the things today. We live in a microwave society. We want everything yesterday. How do we help them stay on track and kind of narrow down the focus? Well, they might have a million things, but just focusing on a couple things, one or two things.
Yeah. So one of your jobs as a coach or as a gym owner is to tell them what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen. Like, there's consistent things that happen. So you can identify ahead of time, hey, by about week 3, you're going to feel this way. And everybody does. So we're going to remove the sting of surprise. We're going to remove the surprise of disappointment or whatever. Like, hey, there's going to be some ups and downs. There's going to be some plateaus. I'm just going to, as your guide, because I've been on top of, I've climbed this mountain before. This valley is always difficult, but there's something better on the other side. So you remove the sting of that because you've been there, and it's your job to go, here's where we're headed. Here's the obstacles we're going to find. And when it happens, we're going to both say to each other, this is what we said would happen, right? And it is what we said would happen. So that, I think, is a big part of it, is helping remove the sting of surprise, disappointment, progress. Because people, like, part of your job is to kind of tell them, me too. Like, hey, the thing you were going through, that's what happens. Like, that's what people are going through. That's, so you're not in the wrong place. You're not feeling the wrong thing. This isn't a sign to quit. This is a sign to keep going. And we planned for it and we prepared for it. So, I mean, a simple way to think about that is, even look at your business. Your business has those cycles. So you can plan for those and go, we know this month is slow, so here's what I'm going to do in response. I'm not going to be surprised by the same slow month 4 years in a row. Like shame on me if by the fifth year, I'm like, so weird, this month sucks again. No, it's going to, so you program around it, you plan around it, you prepare around it. You have to think of that the same way for an individual.
I love that. And you think about with CrossFit specifically, like, we know the first couple days that you're doing a workout that we're teaching you how to go to a squat and reach parallel, you're going to be more sore, and it's going to hurt to go to the bathroom and stand up. Let them know, hey, you're going to be sore, but I promise if you go for a walk and by the second day, the third day, it gets better.
Mhm.
then people are going to feel, okay, I don't need to tell them I can't go. Like she told me it was going to be like this
Yeah,
and it's going to be
exactly.
okay. Yeah. That would
Exactly.
be an easy thing to do at the end of a workout, right? Like, hey, just so you know, you're probably going to be a little bit sore. Do these things. It will help you and make sure that you continue to come
Yep.
back so that we can
Yep.
get into that good routine. I love it. Um, Another question. So you wrote a book called All It Takes Is a Goal.
Yep.
In this book, you talked about your journey with CrossFit
Mhm.
and how you went from a runner and you hired a coach, Caleb.
Yep.
He's the former owner of CrossFit East Nashville, amazing human. But you talked about CrossFit and how you have really fallen in love with this type of
Mhm.
fitness in addition to the other things that you are doing. Why CrossFit?
Well, I realized I'm 48 that the older you get, the faster it feels like muscle just leaves your body. It just you wake up one day and it's like, hey, you know what? We're gonna leave, and you go for how long? It's like forever. Like this is, and so I realized that I love running. I still genuinely enjoy that. I did 600 plus miles last year. So it's not that I was quitting running. I just said, okay, it's not enough. Like it's not enough. And then every study you read talks about the benefit of it. Like even things like there's studies on longevity related to grip strength. Like, and you go, well, of course there are, because there's so many deaths that happen when somebody falls, they can't catch themselves with their grip strength. So maybe in addition to all the muscular benefits of CrossFit, my grip strength will be better. So it was hard to ignore all the different benefits. And I wanted to be deliberate about, okay, to stay high performing, I need to do new things. Like at every age for me, you have to decide, okay, this is what this age is going to require. For me to stay high performing, this is what this decision, and here's the benefit, and here's why I'm going to do it. So for me, that's why I started to go, okay, what do I want to do? And I tried a bunch of things, and I love, and part of it is the person. That's your role. Like Caleb was part of the reason. Like I was around Caleb and I was like, man, this is working. Like in the people he coaches, it's working. And his joy for it's infectious and his wisdom about it's infectious. And so the coach is a big part of it too. Like people don't stay with gyms, they stay with people. People don't stay with gyms, they stay with people. People don't stay with workout plans, they stay with people. They stay with coaches. So also having somebody who loved it and was as wise about it too played a big role.
I think that's one of the amazing things about CrossFit is the community. It
Mhm.
starts from the owner and the coaches, but you've got this amazing community. I would say that some gym owners and coaches that are listening to this podcast have things to learn with what you do in community. You've built an absolutely incredible community around All It Takes Is a Goal, and I've watched it grow over the past few years, and it's really fun to watch. Talk to me about your secret. Like, how do you have, and it's 100% virtual. How do you have
Yeah.
such an amazing community of people? And they honestly, they're all attracting, it's the same type of people that are all encouraging and wanting to go
Mhm.
outside of their comfort zone. I mean, goodness, talk to me about your process and how you've
Yeah.
done it.
Well, I think a lot of it is reps, like doing a lot of reps. Like you can't fast forward community. That's the hard thing. Like, but when you start to see it build a little bit, it starts to build on itself and it starts to, and it's not a fun answer because I'd love to say here's the one or two things I did, but it's little things like I've said this to you before, going first. So like when you have a challenge, sharing it so that other people get to go second. Like when you go first, you give everyone in the room the gift of going second, and that's a powerful gift to give somebody. So it's going first. It's creating content. It's things like owning the ask. Like you're the one who asks. You're the one who does that. You're the one, you're the one who stays on top of it. You're the one who stays consistent. You're not a character. You're yourself. You're not like people can tell when you're the CrossFit character versus when you're being authentic and honest and joyful and stressed when you're stressed or whatever it is. So like a lot of it's being yourself in that. And then consistently creating content that people can identify with and say and like putting their needs, like what do they need? I think I said this last time I was on. the secret to empathy is read less minds, ask more questions. So it's asking questions and remembering what matters to that person and sharing stories. So even like a simple thing is if you're a coach and a client says, yeah, I'm just kind of stressed out. We're dropping off our oldest daughter at college on Friday. Like, and we're all a little stressed out about that. Put a reminder on your calendar on Saturday and say, text Jim on Saturday and say, hey, just checking in, how the drop off go. And that person's mind is going to be blown. And they're going to say what everybody says, which is, wow, thank you for thinking of me. What I've learned about community and just excellence in general, Nicole, is excellence is boring. Excellence is boring. It's all the little things. It's all the little things like, and that's what differentiates. Like there's the big, sexy gym CrossFit things you can do, but man, it's that little stuff like what nobody, like it's the thank you notes. It's the follow-ups. It's the next phone call. It's the writing down like what they actually did. It's the helping them remember progress. It's the repeating yourself more than you want to repeat yourself. It's all those little things that contribute. It's, noticing the first time the person misses, like the first time, not the 10th time, like the first time going, wait a second, I'm really, really busy, but I've got a chart and nobody sees the chart but me. And it's just a chart of the people. And wow, this person missed. I'm just going to check in. I'm going to check in on the first time because I know resistance will build up every time they miss. So if I check in on the 5th time, I'm fighting a massive wall of, I don't want to go. If I check in on the first time, the wall, it's only got 1 brick. I can kick over that. By the time they haven't come 10 times in a row, it's a brick wall 10 feet high. That's hard. So it's all those little things and then doing them, and then doing them some more. And also the way I do that is I connect those little things to the long-term joy, the long-term goal. I don't just do them because I'm a good guy or I'm disciplined or I've grit. I don't have a lot of those things, to be honest with you. I just know what they contribute to. So in my world, I spend my entire year to be on stage 50 times for 45 minutes per time. Like if you think about the hours, like a whole year and you're only doing like less than 50, it's probably 43 hours. Like, wow, 365 days for 43 hours. But man, that's all worth it. So like, that's my favorite part. The 45 minutes are my favorite part, but everything else I do contributes to that part. So like you saw me at GLS and like, I was so dialed in because I'd done all the little things. I'd done so many reps on that speech. I'd done so many, like the book signing line went well because I'd worked on that. Like I feel like it's hard to get 300 people through a book signing line in 30 minutes. Like there's a craft to that, like all these little things. So you just become this craft person at what you're doing. And you geek out about it and you're in a community with other people that geek out about it. Like that's why these podcasts like these are helpful because you're talking about specific things. Like when I tried this thing, like nobody else would be excited by this, but I did this and it worked. Like that's what you do to build a community.
So much to unpack there, but I think the big takeaway for gym owners is your members need to know that you care. And the personalized touch, not the automations, is the secret to building an engaged community.
They have automation in every other part of their life. You won't out automate American Express. Like you can't say, I'll be the best automator and that's what they'll love. You won't out automate Netflix. Yeah. You're not going to, but you can out personalize Netflix. Like you can, like Netflix, like what are people get frustrated because they can't get a human on the phone with most things. Like, so you go, okay, I'll never out automate all these other things. I'll never out tech all these other things. I need to have those dialed in. I need to have that with excellence. Fine. But my differentiator, like, I can out personalize other things. Like I can if it's a huge chain, I can out personalize because when you're a gym owner, you're wired into the business differently. Like it's not a job. It's something you're like, it's part of your identity. It's part of what you really care about. And so, yeah, that's the thing. Like I always, for a gym owner or a coach, I'd go, what are the things I have that other people don't have access to? Like, what are the things I have that, okay, they don't have access to that, or they're not willing to do that. All right, cool. Like for me, it was humor and speeches. I use a lot of humor and speeches because I realized, that's how I like to communicate. And most people don't do it or they can't do it. Like, okay, I'm going to really hone in on that. So yeah, you're 100% right. You're not going to out tech Netflix.
I think an easy thing that we started doing a couple years ago, and it's worked really well with nutrition coaching specifically, is video message check-ins personalized to your clients every single week. Hey, if you're working with us, did you do the thing that you said you were going to do or you didn't? It's going to be a personalized message that says, hey, Jon, awesome job doing X. How are you feeling? It's that personalized connection. Or, hey, Jon, I noticed you didn't do the thing. What happened? How can we gain consistency next week?
Do you need any other help? Or there's something, were you stuck on it or the technique? Yeah, that's brilliant. That's a great example. That's perfect.
And then from a gym standpoint, this is a conversation I had with our team last week is, a lot of times gym owners will check in if clients they'll send a message or whatever with gym members that didn't come in the last week. Well, why is it a whole week? What if it is they don't come in 3 days or they only came once last week? Because if you're only coming once a week, the likelihood of you canceling is pretty high.
Very high, very high.
The research shows you need people coming 15 times a month in a CrossFit gym, 15 times a month to increase length of engagement with your gym members. So why are we not setting the standard that you're not checking in if they're not coming at least 3 times a week? Because then that's going to help them get to that metric so that they stick around longer and so that they ultimately see results, which is what you want.
Well, and you can even switch it up. You could say the check-in is a text one time, the check-in is a video one time. So there's not that to become monotone, because if you do something over and over and over again, it's easy to ignore. But you could say, okay, we're going to check in multiple different ways. Here's what it's going to look like. One time I'm going to text a GIF. I mean, it's going to be funny, like, hey,
where are you?
Where are you? It's like, hello, whatever it is, you can do it, use your creativity. You can do it in different ways. And then you make it a game. Like if it's 15 times, make a list of 15 and cross off each number as they come and go awesome. And here's my check-in. I'm going to check in and I cross that out, turn it into a game so that you stay actively engaged, because you might say, well, it's not fun. It's not what I want to do. It's not, I'm an introvert. I hate reaching out all the time. Whatever it is, make it a game so that's easier for you to do.
I love that. You do that so well with your community and just making it so that everyone's having fun. I really do think it does increase engagement. Where can people find you? And you actually have a goals community launching soon. Where can people find out a little bit more about you?
Yeah, I have this goals community called the Guaranteed Goals Community, which is all year long. So there's 100 videos, but the real thing you said, the personal touch, is we do 36 different check-ins through the year. So what I found is that part of what happens with courses, and not all courses, but a lot of courses, is people purchase them and then they sit in an inbox and they never open it, because we essentially go, you bought my thing, good luck with the rest of your life. And it sits there in an inbox and they don't get any benefit from it. And so I wanted to have a community aspect to that. So we have 36 different live check-ins throughout the year that I do, that team members do. And it's been really fun to see the difference that makes versus saying, it's kind of be like if somebody bought a package of CrossFit package and you're like, good luck, I hope it works for you. You do no, it's not going to work. So that's the Guaranteed Goals Community. You can find out more at jonacuff.com/goals. It's jonacuff.com/goals. Closes on January 26th for the year, because we want to get everybody in and start to work together. And then my podcast is All It Takes Is a Goal. You've been on the podcast. And I just interview people that are really passionate about goals and are goal nerds too. And if you own a CrossFit gym or if you are a coach, you're a goal person. You're probably the person in your friends that when you ask them what their goals are, they go, I don't have any goals this year. And you think, what are you? No goals?
Let me help you figure out what you're wanting.
Yeah. Because you're built to do stuff. You're definitely built to do stuff because you're a human. Let's figure out that stuff. And it doesn't have to be my exact stuff, but I genuinely believe people are happier and healthier when they're engaged in the pursuit of something that matters to them. Over and over and over again. I've never met somebody who said, yeah, I tried this goal I cared about for a month and it made me sadder. I guarantee you've never had somebody say, I did CrossFit for a year and it made me angrier or sadder. No, it probably helped your marriage. You didn't think it was going to. But what I found is joy is contagious, discipline's contagious, goals are contagious. They always spread to other parts of your life. That's the best part of a goal.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for all the work that you do. Thank you for leading the way with goals and so much more. I will link your podcast and the community in the show notes here, as well as the podcast episode where we dived pretty deep into goals and types of goals and so much more with the other podcasts. So thank you again for coming on the podcast, and we'll talk soon.
Yeah, thanks, Nicole.
I hope you enjoyed that episode with Jon Acuff. I think that he has some really great ideas showing up consistently and making it fun for your community to increase engagement. One of the things that we've implemented at Healthy Steps Nutrition HQ is a committed club where we are having our members check in 15 times a month to the gym, and they can earn their right to the 15ers Club. They get a sticker, which is a new sticker every single month. And the only way to get that sticker is if you come in to the gym 15 times a month. The buzz is talking. And what is really cool is we decided that if people come 3 months in a row, they earn the 15ers Club 3 months in a row. We know 90 days, getting people into a good routine for 90 days significantly increases retention with gym members. They will actually get a custom Yeti. Yes, this is costing us a little bit of money, but the buzz is amazing. I'm so excited to help people level up the amount of times that they're coming in the gym to increase community, increase results, and ultimately it's going to help the business overall. So excited about that. When we think about doing something similar for nutrition, we should do it in regards to consistency of habits, and we're focusing on a habit-based approach. So with Healthy Steps Nutrition, it's easy for us to see in a calendar view our clients doing the habits that they're supposed to do and the percentage compliance. The percentage compliance that we recommend is 80% compliance. So if clients are doing the habit that they're working on for the week at least 80% of the time, okay, great. We will earn that ability to join the 80% club. So same idea, we're going to be creating stickers for HSN mentoring clients. It's actually going to be super easy for you. We have templates that are going to be available starting February 1st for you to just get printed off, add your logo, so that you can create this type of club for consistency with your nutrition clients. Really fun way to increase community and engagement and ultimately the success of your clients, because we know that if our clients win, ultimately our business will be more successful down the road and we are going to be able to make a greater impact. I hope you enjoyed this episode with Jon Acuff. If you did, please don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and don't forget to head over to Nutrition Made Simple, episode number 92, to get the full goals episode that would be more tips for you when working directly with your clients. We'll see you back here next week.